Hello everyone, I am Priti Mahto and I am back with another chapter, which is chapter 5, which is major domains of the earth. Okay, so let's start. As you study in previous chapter, earth is only planet which has life. Okay, human beings can live here because of the life-sustaining elements of land, water and air are present on the earth. ह्यूमन सिर्फ इसी में लाइफ मतलब रहता है इसलिए है क्योंकि इसमें जो उन लोगों को जीने के लिए जो चाहिए लाइक लैंड, वाटर, एयर, सारा कुछ अर्थ में प्रेजेंट है. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ इज अ कॉम्प्लेक्स जोन in which three main components of the environment meet, overlap and interact. Okay, first is lithosphere, the solid portion of the earth on which we live is called lithosphere. Atmosphere, next is atmosphere. Okay, so the gaseous layers that surrounded the earth is the atmosphere, where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are found. Next is hydrosphere. Okay, water covers a very big area of the earth's surface and this area is called hydrosphere. Okay, the hydrosphere comprises water in all its forms, that is ice, water, water vapor. Okay, and next is biosphere. The biosphere is the narrow zone where we find land, water and air together, which contains all forms of life. Okay, next is lithosphere. The solid portion of the earth is called lithosphere. It comprises the rocks of the earth's crust and the thin layers of the soil that contains nutrient elements which sustain organism. Okay, there are two main divisions of the earth's surface. First is the large land masses are known as continents and the huge water bodies are called ocean basins. Okay, all the oceans of the world are connected with one another. Okay, the level of sea water remains the same everywhere. Elevation of land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as 0. The highest mountain peak, Mount Everest, is 8,848 meters above from the sea level. The greatest depth of 11,022 meters is recorded at Mariana Trench in Pacific Oceans. Okay, next is continents. There are 7 major continents. These are separated by large body water. First is Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Antarctica. Okay, the greatest part of the land mass lies in the northern hemisphere. First is Asia. Okay, so Asia is the largest continent. Okay, it covers about 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. Okay, the continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. ये continent eastern hemisphere में है. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. Tropic of Cancer जो है इस continent से pass करता है. Asia is separated from the Europe by the Ural mountain on the west. Okay. The combined land mass of Europe and Asia is called Eurasia. Next is Europe. Europe is much smaller than Asia. The continent lies to the west of Asia, and the Arctic Circle passes through it. And next is, it is bound by water bodies on three sides. Okay. Next continent is Africa. The Africa is the second largest continent after the Asia. Next is the equator or 0-degree latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent of Africa. A large part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. Okay. You will find that it is only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Equator and Tropic of Capricorn passes. Okay. मतलब ये है कि अफ्रीका जो कॉन्टिनेंट है उससे तीनों ये पास करता है, ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर, ट्रॉपिक ऑफ इक्वेटर एंड द ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैप्रिकॉर्न. दिस Sahara Desert, the world's largest desert, hot desert, is located in Africa. The continent is bound on all sides by oceans and seas. On the map, you will notice that the world's largest river, the Nile, flow through Africa. Okay. Next continent is North America. So, North America is the third largest continent of the world. It is linked to South America by a very narrow strip land called Isthmus of Panama. So, what is the meaning of isthmus? A large narrow strip of land joining two land masses. Okay. The continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. Three oceans surrounded this continent. First is Pacific, second is Atlantic, and third is Arctic. Okay. Next continent is America. South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. Two oceans surrounded it on the east Atlantic Ocean and the west Pacific Ocean. The Andes, world's largest mountains ranges, runs through its length from north to south. Okay. The South America has the world's largest river, the Amazon. Okay. Next continent is Australia. Australia is the smallest continent that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on all sides by the oceans and seas. It is called as Iceland continent. Okay. Next is Antarctica. Antarctica, completely in the southern hemisphere, is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almost at the center of the continent. It is located in the South Pole region. It is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. There are no permanent human settlements. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. India also research stations. There are named as Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. Next is hydrosphere. Okay. The Earth is called the blue planet. Okay. More than 71% of the Earth is covered with water, and 29% 8% is with land. Hydrosphere continents of water is all its form, okay, as running water of the in oceans and rivers and in lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water and the water vapor in atmosphere all comprises the hydrosphere, okay. So next is more than 97% of the earth's water is found in the oceans and is salty for human use, okay. A large proportion of the rest of the water is in the form of ice sheets and glaciers of water the ground, and a very small percent is available as fresh water for human use. Hence, despite being a blue planet, we face a storage of water. Storage of water का परसेंटेज इतना ज़्यादा है कि वो हम लोग को ब्लू प्लैनेट के रूप में दिखता है. इन दिस फिगर this is fresh water 2.5% and this is oceans 97.5%, जो कि हम लोग नॉर्मली यूज़ नहीं कर सकते हैं क्योंकि वो बहुत ज़्यादा सॉल्टी होता है. नेक्स्ट इज ओशियंस, ओके. ओशियन आर द मेजर पार्ट ऑफ हाइड्रोस्फीयर, ओके. दे आर ऑल इंटरकनेक्टेड, वो एक दूसरे से जुड़ा होता है सारा. The ocean waters are always moving, वो हमेशा मूव करते रहता है. The three chief movement of the ocean water are, first is wave, tides, ocean currents, okay. The five major oceans are, first is Pacific Ocean, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and Arctic Ocean. In order the size, the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. It spread over 1/3 of the earth. Marine trench, the deepest part of the earth, lies in the Pacific Ocean. उसके बाद the Pacific Ocean is almost circular in shape. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world. It is S-shaped and it is flanked by the North and South Americas on the western side and Europe and Africa on the eastern side. The coastal line of Atlantic Ocean is highly indented means वो बहुत ऐसे टाइप का रहता है, like this region is indented coastal line provides ideal location for natural harbors and ports, okay. From the point of view of commerce, it is the busiest ocean, okay. The Indian Ocean, third is the Indian Ocean is the only ocean named after a country, that is India. The shape of the ocean is almost triangular. Indian Ocean का shape almost triangular shape में है. In the north, it is bound by Asia, in the west by Africa and in the east by Australia. The Southern Ocean, fourth ocean is Southern Ocean, encircles the continent of Antarctica and extends northward to 60 degrees south latitude. The Arctic, fifth ocean is the Arctic Ocean, is located within the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. So, it is connected with the Pacific Ocean by a narrow stretch of shallow water known as being strait. It is bound by northern coast of North America and Eurasia. Next is atmosphere. Okay, so in atmosphere, the earth is surrounded by a layer of gas called atmosphere. This thin blanket of air is an integral and important aspect of the planet. It provides us with the air we breathe and protect us from the harmful effects of sun's rays. Okay. The atmosphere extends up to a height of 1600 km. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on comprises temperature and other properties. Okay. First is these layers starting from Earth's surface are called troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Okay. So the atmosphere is composed mainly of nitrogen, oxygen, which makes up about 99% of clean dry air. Nitrogen is 78%, oxygen is 21%, and other gases like carbon dioxide, argon is 1% by volume. Okay. Next is oxygen. Oxygen is the breath of life, while nitrogen help in the growth of living organism. ठीक है. Carbon dioxide, though present in minute amount, is important as it absorbs heat radiated by the earth, thereby keeping the planet warm. Okay. It is also essential for the growth of plants. The density of the atmosphere varies with height. It is a maximum at the sea level and decreases rapidly as we go up. Okay. For example, we know the climbers experience problems in breathing due to this increase in the density of air. They have to carry with them oxygen cylinders to be able to breathe at high altitude. Okay. The temperature also decrease as we go upwards. जैसे जैसे आप ऊपर जाइएगा temperature भी decrease करेगा. The atmosphere exerts present on the earth. This varies from place to place. Next is this: some areas experience high pressure and some areas low pressure. Air moves from high pressure to low pressure. Okay. Moving air is known as wind. Biosphere. Next is biosphere. Okay. The domains of life. इसको domains of life भी बोला जाता है. The biosphere is the narrow zone of contact between the land, water and air. It is in this zone that life that is unique to this planet exists. Okay. There are several species of organisms that varies in size from microbes, bacteria, huge mammals, etc. All the living organisms, including humans, are linked to each other and to the biosphere for survival. Okay. Next is the organisms in the biosphere are broadly divided into two types. First is the plant kingdom and second is the animal kingdom. Okay. Next is the third domains of the earth interact with each other and affect each other in some ways of the earth. Carbon dioxide is an important constituent of air, but increase in the amount of carbon dioxide leads to increased global temperature. This is termed as global warming. अगर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बढ़ेगा तो ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर भी बढ़ेगा और जिसको हम लोग फिर ग्लोबल वार्मिंग बोलेंगे. ओके. So there is thus a thus a need to limit the use of resources of the earth to maintain the balance of nature between the domains of the lithosphere, atmosphere and the hydrosphere. Thank you so much, guys.